Ryan, and I am your urban bookworm. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about my favorite scary books because horror is my favorite genre, so there's a special place in my heart for everything that's dark and scary. And so, well, commence with the list. My first book that I'm going to talk about today is Survive the Night by Danielle Vega, and she is one of my favorite contemporary book authors because all she writes about is horror books, the scariest books I've ever read actually. And one of my favorite idols, Stephen King, and there's Alfred Hitchcock, and Danielle Vega, she just makes everything sound so scary, and if you've been sleeping too well at night, she will fix that for you. So this book is about, her name is Casey, and her friends, I think their names are Aya, Julie, and there's another one. Like, they're going down into tunnels. I don't know why. It's 3 a.m. And what happens is, like, they get stuck down there. It's a raid going on, and there are these teenagers, and there's alcohol, and those two together are never the best of things to be combined together. So, like, they're down there, and then all of a sudden, while this party is happening, Casey, she goes in search for one of her friends, and she finds her friend. Her body is mutilated, and like it gets really scary from there because after she finds them, she tries to round up all of her friends, and like they realize the party has stopped because it got shut down by the cops. Of course, what else can you expect by teenagers? And they realize that they are stuck in the subway tunnels because after the cops raided the party, they locked everyone down there. If they didn't find you, you were just stuck down there. And so her friends, they just get stuck down there, and like there are scary monsters and stuff. And so, yeah, this definitely makes the cut because I couldn't sleep at night. I had to sleep with the lights on. And so I'm saying read this book, but like don't read it if you don't like scary things, but you watch this video. So definitely check out this book if you like scary books. Okay, so the next book on my list is The Call by Peter O'Gillen. And on the front cover it says 3 minutes to save your life, which is already chilling, so you know what this book is about to be about. So there's a girl named Nessa, and she's handicapped. She's in a wheelchair, and in this world, it takes place in Ireland. These kids, adolescents, aged from 13 until 17, they are prepared for what is called the call, where they can be taken from the present day at any time, and it lasts for 4 minutes in the actual daytime world. And they go to this fairy realm where the city, they're just a group of vicious fairies. They're said to be the most beautiful people like they've ever seen. The characters all describe them as the most beautiful people they've ever seen. But I don't understand because all they do is mangle and torture and kill people. So this is not a fun book actually. If you think fairies are just these wonderful magical creatures that go around and they're really pretty and Tinkerbell, no, this is not your Tinkerbell. This is not what you want in your life. But it's a great scary book, so you should really check it out. So the next book that I'm going to talk to you about is The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. And on the front it says, she's trained to survive. He's programmed to kill. That right there, that was the reason I was drawn into this book. So this book is about a utopian society. Well, this is a dystopian society where the birth rate is lower than the death rate. So more people are dying than people are being born. Which I don't know how your society works. Oh wait, I'm in it. But that's not how things are supposed to work. There's this girl, and her name is Meadow, and she has been trained by her father relentlessly to survive at all costs. So she's really good with a knife, and she will use it if she has to. And in this society, there is death everywhere. There is something called the dark time, where you do not go out. Your parents tell you to stay inside of the house, and you actually listen. I know I don't listen. I used to not listen when I was younger, but if I was in this book, I would definitely listen to my parents. So during the dark time, there are these people, and they have programs. They are programmed within themselves to like go out and just kill anyone in sight. And there's blood, and there's death, and there's tears everywhere, and it's just not a fun book to read. But it's like so well written, and it's written between the two main characters, Meadow, our main character, who is clearly the hero of the story, and then there's Zephyr. On the front, it says he's programmed to kill. He is the one that they're talking about, but their two lives come together and they intertwine, so it's a really well-written book. It's just really scary to read, so be prepared. Okay, so the next book that I have for you in my video is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. yes, I already talked about her to you before, but her books are just that really good. So this is just the first book that I read that I really fell in love with her with, because scary books are just the greatest books. So there's a girl, her name is Sophia Flores, and it is her first day of high school. If you can remember how heart-wrenching that is. Oh wait, is it just me? Well, that's cool too. But she befriends the popular girls that are at her high school, and there is this kind of an outcast girl. Her name is Brooklyn, and they decide that they are going to teach this girl a lesson. It's been a while since I read this book, and they decide to tie her up and go to an abandoned building and decide to torture her and give her an exorcism for some reason. I don't know about teenage girls in today's present, but I'm pretty sure they should be going out to the mall and doing each other's nails, doing each other's hair, maybe, I don't know, watching a movie, but exorcisms are just not something high school girls should be partaking in. And so this book was really scary because I was wondering, where are the parents while all of this is happening? So the next book in the scariest video that you have ever seen featuring books is Stephen King's Mr. Mercedes. And so this book really intrigued me because Stephen King, you know, if you want to read a scary book, you gotta at least start with him, and he's written some of the greatest and some of the best classics in horror fiction. So in this book, at the very beginning, a job fair is taking place, and it's in the wee hours of the morning. Who says wee hours? Oh. And so it's like 5 a.m. and these people, they are lined up, they are ready, they're going to get them a job. I applaud them. Well, not for what happens next. But there is a Mercedes, and it's plowing through this line of people. Why, you ask? Don't know. I still do not know. But this book is told like through the perspective of a retired cop who investigates this incident where 8 people are killed and 15 are wounded, where this job fair is taking place. Well, it's before the job fair takes place, and people are just standing outside minding their business, drinking hot coffee, a baby is crying. A Mercedes car just plows through it. And if you didn't see it, there's an umbrella and there's blood. Do you see the front cover of this? It's just, at the back of it, there is an ice cream truck. It says Mr. Tasty. There's nothing tasty about the blood that's happening. The book cover alone is scary. Oh, as I was saying, this book is told from the perspective of both sides of the story. The person that orchestrated the Mercedes event, I guess I'll call it a Mercedes event. Is that technical? Is that how you supposed to say that? I'm just going to say it. And there's told from the perspective of Bill Hodges. He's the ex-cop that was covering this case, and he retired before he ever had a chance to solve the mystery. But recently, in this book, he was receiving strange, cryptic emails, notes, messages, taunts from the actual person who committed the crime. And so it's just really interesting. You have to really read it to get the full story of it. And I suggest that you do, because it's a mystery at the same time, and it's really well written. So you should really read it, and it's really scary. I'm gonna leave now. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. I make videos now for BookTube, so if you want to watch for all of your bookish needs, be sure to watch me. I am your urban bookworm, and I'm out. Oh wait, wrong way.